You, viewers, are a highly trained galactic commando deep in enemy territory. Your mission to recover a fortune in gold stolen from the bungling people by their power-hungry leaders. You'll be running, jumping, and climbing heroically, solving perplexing puzzles with your laser pistol. You'll drill passageways through stone floors and barriers. To get through this mission alive, you'll need more than fleet feet and good looks. You'll need your quick wits and brains, and more than just a little luck. In Lode Runner from Hudson Soft and Broderbund. Released on about 1 million different consoles in September of 1987 for the NES. Originally released in 1983, was first published by Broderbund and is one of the first games to include a level editor, a feature that allows you to create your own levels. That's why it's a level editor. This feature bolstered the game's popularity as magazines such as Computer Gaming World held contests to see who could build the best level. Tozai Inc. currently holds the intellectual property and trademark rights of Lode Runner. It's a really cool name. It's pretty, yeah. Let's talk about what all this this lovely little game here was released on, because there's 1 million of them, like I said. The Apple II, some Russian one I can't pronounce, the VIC-20, the Commodore 64, PC Booter, the ZX Spectrum, the Atari XL and XE, the SG-1000, Xbox Live Arcade, Windows, the iPod, Macintosh, the Virtual Console, PlayStation Network, the BBC Micro, the Atari Lynx, PlayStation, NES, NES, SNES, and the Amstrad CPC. Whew. The prototype of what later became Lode Runner, not Road Runner, that would be silly and Japanese, was a game developed by Doug E. Smith, or Douglas E. Smith, but I'm going to call him Dougie Doug, of Renton, Washington. Washington, I'm not even from you, who at the time was an architecture student at the University of Washington. This prototype, called Kong, was written for a Prime Computer 550 microcomputer, limited to one building on the UW campus. Shortly thereafter, Kong was ported to VAX microcomputers as there were more terminals available on campus. The game was programmed in Fortran and used ASCII character graphics. When Kong was ported to VAX, some Pascal sections were mixed into the original Fortran code. It's all very interesting if you know what any of this means. Over one weekend in '82, Smith was able to build a crude playable version in 6502 assembly language on the Apple II Plus and renamed the game Miner. Through the end of the year, he refined that version, which was black and white with no joystick support. He submitted a rough version to Broderbund in October of 1982 and received a one-line rejection letter in response to the effect of, "Sorry, your game doesn't fit into our product line. Please feel free to submit future products." Those were the days, viewers. He borrowed money to purchase a color monitor and joystick and continued to improve the game. Around Christmas of '82, he submitted the game, now renamed Lode Runner, to 4 publishers and quickly received offers from all 4. Some of these pretty big names like Sierra, Sirius, and Synergistic, and Broderbund. He took the deal with Broderbund, though. Miner, like its text-based Kong predecessors, had only very simple animation where characters move across the screen and block instruments. It was too primitive for an acceptable commercial product, as Broderbund wanted detailed pixel-level movement. According to this article, Smith was given a $10,000 advance by Broderbund to develop the inter-square animation and to provide 150 levels for play. For the latter, he reputedly paid neighborhood children to design letters with the editor he had coded. The game was released in 1983. The original microcomputer versions include the Apple II series and Atari 8-bit family, the VIC-20, the Commodore 64, the IBM PC, and the Konami version licensed for the MSX named Kings Valley. This was then released for the Sega Mark I with only minor changes. A port for the original 128K Macintosh followed in '84. Versions include those for the Atari ST, the Sinclair Spectrum, 48K and 128K, the NES, Windows 3.1, Macintosh, and the original Game Boy. Most versions of Lode Runner were on disc, but the Atari 8-bit and Commodore 64 version also got a light cartridge version with only 32 levels and no editor for users without disk drives. The VIC-20 port was cartridge only. The NES version was released by Hudson in '84 and North America in '86 and became one of the earliest third-party games made for the system. It had 50 levels, scrolling screens, and graphics redone in a more cartoon-like style. In addition, an arcade game of Lode Runner was produced with some added features like the ability to hang off the ends of ladders. Broderbund released a special enhanced version, Championship Lode Runner, the following year. It had only 50 levels, but with a much higher difficulty than the original. The company offered a commemorative certificate to anyone who could submit proof of having beaten the entire game. It was ported to the Apple, Atari, Commodore 64, and PC, as well as the NES, although the Championship version did not reach North America. It's your basic little puzzle game. We control a figure who must collect all the gold while avoiding the guards. After collecting gold, we have to travel to the top of the screen to reach the next level. Levels are usually multi-story, brick platforms with ladders and hand-to-hand bars, multiple ways of travel. We can dig holes in floors to temporarily trap guards and may safely walk atop the trapped guards. Should a guard be carrying a bar of gold when he falls, it will be left behind and can be retrieved by the player. Over time, floors dug will regenerate. A trapped guard who cannot escape before a hole before it is consumed respawns in a random location. Unlike guards, we cannot climb up out of a hole and will be killed if it fills before we can escape by other means. Floors may also contain trapdoors, which the player will fall through, and bedrock, which we cannot dig through. This is a pretty basic little puzzle game, but it's kind of fun. There's a very fancy schmancy remake for the Xbox Live. There were many sequels made. Lode Runner, Championship Lode Runner, Lode Runner's Rescue, Hyper Lode Runner, Lode Runner The Bungling Strikes Back, Lode Runner The Dig Fight, Lode Runner The Legend Returns, Lode Runner Online, Mad Monk's Revenge, Lode Runner 2, and Lode Runner 3D. Whew. It's a very popular game, and notably so. It's pretty fun. The graphics in this version are meh. The music is meh, but, it was 1986, whatever,